I mean, obviously, I wouldn't want to get franchise tagged. I mean, I feel like nobody really do. But if you want me to come back and be the hero, then you have to pay me like a hero.
The Raiders have officially franchised star running back Josh Jacobs. And there are reports from ESPN that they are interested in Aaron Rodgers still and possibly a few other veteran quarterbacks. But how is the Josh Jacobs and Aaron Rodgers situation connected? The Raiders could run into a problem with Josh Jacobs if they do not go out and grab Aaron Rodgers. We know the Raiders had until March 7th to franchise tag Josh Jacobs, and now they have a new deadline where they have to reach a deal with Jacobs by July 15th, or else Jacobs will for sure play on the franchise tag. If they reach a deal before then, they'll probably scrap that franchise tag. And we know Jacobs doesn't want to play on the franchise tag. He openly said that no player really wants to play on the franchise tag, and he went out of his way to become the #1 running back in the NFL last year. Even though Josh McDaniels had played him in preseason, it kind of sketched everybody out, and his 5th-year option was declined going into the 2022 season. So Jacobs did everything right, and he is still not able to strike a deal with the Raiders, and he even alluded to this at the Pro Bowl that the Raiders have not disrespected him yet.
I ain't felt disrespected in any type of way yet, so we're gonna see how it goes.
And so it seems like Josh Jacobs does not believe the Raiders are going to give him the type of contract he would demand to be a #1 running back, or else the Raiders wouldn't have to use the franchise tag. They should be able to get a deal done by now. But Jacobs said he is down to play on the franchise tag if you build around him, if you get a good quarterback. And he has this key phrase that he said several times: if you want me to be the hero, you're gonna have to pay me like the hero. And I think Josh Jacobs is anticipating if the Raiders go out there and draft a quarterback with the #7 overall pick, well, Jacobs is gonna probably have to pick up the slack for the rookie QB and be the hero. And the one way the Raiders could avoid this problem with Josh Jacobs, and it will make him happy to play on the franchise tag, is if they go out and grab Aaron Rodgers. And Josh Jacobs has spoken favorably about Aaron Rodgers, and we thought, hey, this Aaron Rodgers to the Raiders thing, it's a long shot. The Raiders kept saying, we want to find a long-term solution at quarterback. We want to get a young guy to be the franchise QB. But they also said, hey, that could be next year. That doesn't necessarily mean we're going to find our guy this year. And so now it's sort of opened the door for Aaron Rodgers to the Raiders, especially given the fact that ESPN is now reporting that the Raiders and Josh McDaniels are still pursuing Aaron Rodgers, and they have a backup plan just in case, but they are going to try to get this guy. And apparently Josh McDaniels is a long admirer of Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers is not going to take any of Josh McDaniels' shit. And I'm not sure Josh McDaniels is going to be able to handle that. So we'll see if this report is actually true and if the Raiders go out and grab Aaron Rodgers. Now, Jacobs' tag does make it a little more difficult for the Raiders to afford Aaron Rodgers. However, if they strike a long-term deal with Josh Jacobs, they could backload his contract so the Raiders are able to afford Aaron Rodgers. And look, Josh Jacobs made it clear on Pro Football Talk. He's going to look out for himself, man. He played on that rookie contract for 4 years with the Raiders, and then he went out there and took the risk playing in 2022 with no future contract. He could have played hardball, he could have sat out, but he went out there and tried to prove himself. And I think this guy deserves the right to pursue the best deal for himself and his family. He does have children as well. And if the Raiders aren't going to pay him, and if the Raiders aren't going to pursue a Super Bowl run by stacking talent around him, this guy will likely be out of Las Vegas, which completely sucks because I bought my wife a Josh Jacobs jersey and it ain't cheap. Now, ESPN Dan Graziano was saying that Aaron Rodgers is still being pursued by the Raiders, but also said the Raiders will have backup plans in case Aaron Rodgers to the Raiders is a no-go. And one of those backup plans is Mac Jones. We know Mac Jones was hugged a lot by Josh McDaniels after the Raiders beat the Patriots in Las Vegas last year. And you know, he was there when they drafted Mac Jones. He helped him get to a Pro Bowl. So it wouldn't be crazy to think that Josh McDaniels wants Mac Jones. I just don't think the Patriots are going to give him up. I think the Patriots went out of the way to grab Bill O'Brien from Alabama to be the offensive coordinator of the Patriots to make Mac Jones happy. But one thing that is likely to happen, and I think possibly an option that I personally do not want to see happen, is the Raiders go out and sign freaking Jimmy G, dude. Oh my God, the San Francisco 49ers leftovers, what they rejected from their dinner table, the Raiders might have to eat it up under the table. And that is Dan Graziano reporting that the Raiders are expected to pursue Jimmy G, especially if the Aaron Rodgers deal does not work out, if they're not able to land him. Josh McDaniels has a relationship with Jimmy Garoppolo. The Patriots did draft him when he was a backup under Tom Brady until Tom Brady said, hey, I don't want this guy being competition. Ship his pretty ass out of here. And honestly, Jimmy G has changed since being with the Patriots and going to the Niners. He has a little more of an attitude. You saw him curse Kyle Shanahan out last year saying, all your plays suck, man. So I don't know if necessarily he's going to clash well with Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels only knew Jimmy G when he was a young pup, but now he's a gray old man and ain't taking no shit. And honestly, the main reason why I do not think the Raiders should pursue Jimmy Garoppolo is because he is not significantly better than Derek Carr at all whatsoever. Honestly, in my opinion, he's worse than Derek Carr, and he's less available. He's had injury problems over the past few years, so I believe the Raiders would be downgrading at quarterback and also paying a hefty price. You have Vincent Bosio of the Las Vegas Review-Journal estimating that Jimmy Garoppolo will make about $33 million per year. There's been reports that Jimmy Garoppolo wants a fat contract. Maybe $33 million might be low. We know Daniel Jones has also said he wants a contract in the 40s. I think Jimmy G is going to want to get paid, and I don't think the Raiders should go out there, fork over so much money for a guy who's not usually available and not a significant upgrade at quarterback. It does seem like the Raiders will pursue a veteran QB option and also draft a quarterback at the same time. The question is which round, and then how much money are you going to spend in free agency? But we know the tampering period opens up March 13th. The first day of free agency is March 15th. We'll keep you up to date with everything happening with the Raiders and the NFL. Like this video if you have not yet, and subscribe to this channel for more content. My name is WiFiWillie. Peace out, and I hope you have a good one.